amazingly well. I mean, Katie's professionalism and expertise and knowing how to handle that in a calm and, reassuring manner was absolutely outstanding. We both work at hospitals, so I guess our plan was to go to the hospital and just have the baby at the hospital, like like most folks do. I'm at work one day, and Nikki likes to text me these bombshell things to communicate bombshell things over text message. So she's like, "I think we need to do a birth class." And I'm like, okay. So we started talking more, and she said, "I found this class called the Bradley class." I'm like, "Okay, sounds good." We signed up for the Bradley class, and so then we really started thinking about, well, what about at home? I mean, everything we're hearing about home births, we started really researching it in addition to what we're learning at the class and just the safety and efficacy of it. We'd initially started talking to doulas, to monitrices, and then started talking to midwives, and that's where we met Katie and really clicked with her. We actually the interview was over Skype because she was in Spain at the time, but really clicked with her, and just decided that this really is what we want to do, how we want to start shaping our birth plan.
So I had set my intentions. I wanted to go into labor on Saturday because I was most rested on that day. I wanted all the messy things to happen in our bathroom at home, and um, and I was going to go into labor early. All those things happened. It just happened a week earlier than I thought. So we went home, and I got my regular scheduled Saturday afternoon nap. And I woke up, went to the bathroom, and at that time it went gurgle, gurgle, splash. uh, and so I yelled at Josh, "My water just broke. Get my mom on an airplane." And then I called Katie, who tried to, calm down my type A personality and let me know what to expect. And around 8 o'clock that night, is when I started having my first contractions. And the only way I could get comfortable was to get on the floor on my hands and knees
and that was about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, kind of move my hips around. So then we moved into the shower, and that really helped because I was experiencing a lot of contractions, especially in my lower back. So just the warm water really, really helped a lot.
Yeah.
So
So that went on for a bit, and I guess it was about. I'm still timing the contractions, but then there came a point where it's like, okay, now we are regular. So, well, there came a point where it's like, I should probably call Katie. So I called her. I think it was 2:30 in the morning. I called her. I was like, Katie, just want to let you know where we're at. She's, groaning, and she's like, let me listen to her. So I held the phone there, and Nikki's like groaning and stuff, and Katie's like, I think she's pushing. Is she pushing? She is pushing. I am on my way. I'm coming now. So Katie came, and then I get a call from her as she's coming. She's like, I can't get into the gate. And little did I know, I forgot to mention one detail, and that like after 10 o'clock, that particular code stops working. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming to get you. So I left her to go and get Katie, and then so I went to one gate, she wasn't there, and then around to the other gate, and finally met, and then came in. But Katie got there in time, and then so Nikki's in the shower, and then I think first thing we brought her over to, she's like, I think it's time to go into the tub. So
yeah. And I originally hadn't planned on giving birth necessarily in the water tub. I wanted it there, just for some comfort measures during labor. But I was so thankful that we had it because in between contractions, Katie helped me move from our shower that was very cold and hard to this nice, warm, soft tub. And I was able to get in a reclining position. So it was actually incredibly comfortable. And it felt just really, really good just to be able to be in the tub.
So it was about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour after Katie arrived that she was born. But meanwhile, shortly after Katie got there, then the doula and the second midwife is showing up at the gate too, so I'm getting calls from them because it's not working. And then, but I'm like, oh, at that point I couldn't leave. She's in the tub, the baby's crowning. I'm like, okay, well you just have to wait. So it wasn't until after the baby was born that I went out and I got them. But yeah, she was born at 3:51, and there was a bit of a, I wouldn't call it an emergency, but she came out and Katie looked and she was like, oh my gosh, that's not supposed to happen. The cord had broken in half. So she's like, here, hold here, grabbing, clamping on the cord, hold this right here. So I was holding the baby, and then she, grabbed her, and then, gave Emmeline back to Nikki for the skin to skin time. But also then in the meantime, the tub the water's becoming pretty red, more red and more red of it. So with assistance from, Katie had to go retrieve the placenta and get it out that way. But everything went well. It handled perfectly, amazingly well. Katie's professionalism and expertise in knowing how to handle that in a calm and reassuring manner was absolutely outstanding. So she was born at 3:51. I guess it was about 5:30 or 6 that the boys started waking up and could come in and see her within a couple hours of being born. And to be honest, that really played hugely into our birth plan and deciding to have a home birth. We didn't get to experience their births. They're both adopted from China, so we've never experienced that with them. So very, very important that they could experience that with us and be there right after the baby was born.
She woke them up screaming her head off, so they got to run into our room like Christmas morning to see their new sister.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. That's our birth story, and I'm so glad that we, took our Bradley class and then also went with a home birth, because I know that it would have been a much different experience, especially with the type of urgency that they had. I wouldn't have been able to get that immediate contact with Emmeline, and so I walked away having a beautiful birth story instead of a different type of story. So I'm so thankful for that.